my friends, and welcome to another DataBits video. It has been a while since I've seen you and since you've seen me. So, in fact, I don't get in front of the camera very often, so you haven't seen me either way in most cases. There's a lot of competition out there nowadays for retro tech. Everybody and their brother is doing it. And the big dogs are out there still making YouTube videos about strange things you've never seen before. So it's kind of rare that I find something that somebody hasn't already covered in one way or another, and even more professionally than I can do it. But I consider myself one of the small dogs in the game. I'm a small dog compared to the big dogs. But today, we are going to show you something that the big dogs may not have yet seen. And this is a Sony product. It is brand new in the box. It is a DPA 300 2FS digital still recorder with audio. Okay, so this is MiniDisc technology, but specifically, this is MD data or picture MD technology. As far as I know, it is not compatible with regular music mini discs. We will test that out. We will flesh it out in real time together. But what I wanted to do was have you join me in experiencing this particular product. Again, brand new, never been opened, marketed to medical facilities specifically, and it has a white color for that. And it was used in like doctor's offices and dentist's office to store things like x-rays or just examination pictures, that sort of thing. And you could actually record audio with it and kind of narrate as to what it would do. So I imagine this is like a primitive PowerPoint machine. So you could literally put your slides on it and put audio on it and sit it next to a table at a conference or something, and people could come by and it would be playing a little presentation. So kind of neat, kind of like the old school film strip projectors that had a cassette deck in them, except this is a little easier to create your own exciting presentations. So apparently this box was in kind of rough shape, even though the guy shipped it to me in the original box. This is a Facebook Marketplace find. And right here on the side, it says something interesting. This carton contains, that must be the actual proper spelling of that word. This carton contains 5 mini data discs. So if you do a little search out on eBay for blank mini data discs, you will see that they are usually priced a little on the high side, we'll say. So hopefully this is not lying, and there will be 5 of these lovely discs inside. All right, let's rip this thing open and see what's inside. A very important notification here. Please read the instruction manual. Okay, got that out of the way. Hopefully it comes with an instruction manual, right? All right, I spy with my little eye right here on the left. Look at this. It's an entire box of MD data discs. They each hold 140 megabytes. So this would have been in direct competition with zip drives, Iomega zip drives, and other companies in that same era that were making portable media storage. But needless to say, this was not as big of a hit as the Iomega zip drive was. We have a remote control. Very nice. And it even says Picture MD down there at the bottom. That's cool. And this appears to be the power supply. Strangely enough, it actually has an external power supply. The power supply is not built in. So nothing like having to recap a power supply. You can just replace the power supply, and it puts out 12 volts and 2 amps. You can see right there. Model number ACDA300. All right. Now we should be ready to pull the unit out, I guess. And let's see. Oh, we have the owner's manual. It's so exciting. and some original Sony batteries for the remote, warranty information, etc., etc. Some corrections made to the owner's manual, and here is the unit itself. So let's make some room here on this platform that we're on and take a look. So just when I thought I had taken everything out of the box that was in it, something else mysterious appeared. This is not a game controller. It happens to be a foot switch. So I suppose if you were manipulating a camera and you wanted to have the ability to just snap a picture as you were going along, you have this little foot pedal there, FSA8 foot pedal. Very nice. So there is that unexpected feature. And then there's this little manual for the foot switch. Very interesting. Some big stickers. All right, let's see what the actual unit looks like in all of its retro glory. All right, we have a date of March 1998 on that. And here is the front. Just going over some of the controls here. We have power on the left side here. We have an infrared window, slideshow, IR link, audio dub, enter, up, down, left, right, back, next. We have record, capture, live play, photo, album, and eject. And let's take a look on the back side. I like the size of this. It's fairly small and portable. What do we got here? Now these I have not. Oh, this is foot switch. Okay. So the white and the red here, those are our inputs from the foot switch, our outputs. FS1, FS2, and then I guess both of these are FS2, white and red. We have our S-video input here, along with composite. Output, the same. Input, RCA jacks, in and out, and the place to stick our power supply. And it looks like it has some kind of a little air filter thingy going on here. Looks like you can replace these air filters. How interesting. Not something you typically see with consumer stuff. I know that Pioneer, in a lot of their Laserdisc players, especially the two-sided ones, they always had this big, huge block hanging out of the back. But I don't remember seeing any kind of an air filter on it. So that's kind of cool. All right, now the joy will be if this thing actually works after being in storage since 1998. So what is that? This is 2025. So it has been in storage 27 years. That is a long time to be sitting in storage and not being used. All right, so the next challenge will be to plug it up and see what it'll do. And here we are set up as a little workstation here. This is typically where my TRS-80 color computer sits, and that is why you see a joystick over here and a cassette deck over here. And then I've got my iPod, which is actually a 3G iPhone that I can use to load programs into the TRS-80. But beyond that, let's take a look at this unit as it's hooked up. This is the screen you're going to see when you first turn it on. In fact, I'll repeat that process. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Get that nice little screensaver looking thing there, wallpaper. And there you go. So our disc had the joy of opening up one of these lovely MD data discs. Isn't it gorgeous? It's actually pretty plain. In any case, we plugged that in. What I did is I hooked a DVD player up to this, and I used a video that you've actually seen on my channel before. It is what is DVD? And so I thought, well, I will make a slideshow starring that particular DVD. Bringing you a little bit closer up, you can see there are some buttons here on the bottom of the screen. Now, I am now inside of the album that I have created, photo album. And again, all of these pictures that you see up here are screenshots. They're basically a composite video signal, even though this thing has Super VHS or SVHS inputs, S video, yeah, all of that. It has those inputs and outputs, but we're not going to use those. I'm just using composite in this case. Did not want to have to dig out one of those S-video cables. So you can see it gives you thumbnails of each one of the photos that you have captured. And what would be really cool is to find a vintage camera that has the infrared output on it. And then I could easily go through and export into this thing and actually see photos, not video screenshots. So here I can change my album title. Now in a moment, I'll hook this up to OBS Studio so that you can see it a bit better, clearer on your screen. But for now, I was just going to show you around a little bit here. How do I change that? Oh, I guess I just have to start typing. Okay, delete, 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 delete. All right, I'm just going to leave the title as DVD. Then I'll hit OK. All right, so now we see that title right here on our album. And I can go out of the album here, like this. Then here I can actually create a new album if I wanted to. So here's the options I have: close, rotate cover, select cover, disc title, delete album, and format disc. And then it has a little help thing over here to tell you what each one of those actually do. What I'd like to do now is show you the entire process of capturing video screens, video captures with the unit. I've got my DVD player connected here, and I've got a DVD of Tim Hawkins, one of my favorite comedians, in there. And I've got it queued up. And what I want to do is create a new album, and I want to capture pictures to create my album and then add some music or some sound to each one. So let's see how that works. So the first thing we want to do is go down here to the bottom right of the screen using my remote arrow keys, and I'm going to go to load. And you get prompted as create new album and add photos. So yes, I want to do it via the video input. I'd love to do it via the IR port. I tried that from my old Sony Vaio laptop, and it just simply would not take something via IR. So let's do frame. All right, so these are the instructions. Live video image will be displayed. Press enter to capture, okay? So I'm going to hit okay. Now I can use my remote, and on my remote is the enter key. So I can do enter there, and then it will confirm I want to save it, and I'm gonna have to hit okay on the remote following that. So let's go ahead and hit play. Now, ironically, actually, let's take this back to the menu. Don't happen to have my remote on me here, so I'm going to just eject the disc and put it back in. And there it goes. I'm using the most expensive DVD player known to mankind, the Magnavox DP100MW8. You can find this pretty much any time at any local thrift store. All right, so what I want to do is hit enter. I'm going to capture a picture. It says, okay, this is the picture I captured. Then I just hit okay on that, and then it beeps at me like I've done something wrong. All right, so then I hit play. Let's just say, you know, the concert is the next piece. All right, so there's the intro screen. Now I'm going to hit enter. All right, and there is my capture. Hit OK. And all right, and I'm going to use that one and hit OK. Okay, so let's hit stop on the DVD player. Let's go back to our album. Now, strangely enough, it does not play audio when you're capturing video. I guess it assumes you're just capturing pictures, not like a video. I wish I could capture a video because that'd be pretty cool. So here's my new album, and you'll see the pictures that I captured, 1, 2, and 3. And I want to add some sound to this one. So I'm going to hit that, go into the photo itself, and then down here at the bottom right is a function key. And I don't have that yet. So here, exit, edit. There we go. Record voice. Okay. And you get two options, main voice or sub voice. So let's do main voice. And you get this little cool audio recorder up here. Now, you'll remember from my introduction of this video that I was going to determine whether or not this would play music mini discs, and it absolutely will not. It won't play any format of music mini disc. It is exclusive to MD data. All right, so I'm going to hit record, and then I have two options here, well, three. I can do record start, I can change my recording level, or I can stop. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit record start, and then I'll hit play on the DVD player. Okay, so that's our sound. I don't know if there's a limit as to how long of a sound you can put on there, but let's say you had a mic mixer and you hooked it up to this thing, you could put narration there instead of just captured music. Now, the other thing that's kind of fun about this thing, fun in quotation marks, is now I can go here and play my voice. The interesting thing is you can actually record music on this system, on this disc, and use it as the background for playing a slideshow. So let's say you have a wedding coming up, load all your wedding photos or kid photos of the couple onto this machine and record some music in the background, and it's a standalone movie player, well, slideshow player. Okay, all right, so let's play the voice that we just recorded. And there it is. Okay, so we made our capture of sound and we did our picture. And if I wanted to do it again, then I could just hit next and go to the next picture that we captured. And I could do my edit screen again, and then I could record voice. Now, the other thing that's interesting is it has a type caption on here. So let's see what that does. So we can do a caption or we can do the date and time. All right. Let's just say we want to put the date and time on there. All right. Oh, it's the year 1997. Oh, that's neat. Well, let's see how far it goes up. Looks like we can do it this way. Huh. All right. And it's about 8:04 p.m. Oh, wait. Yeah, month. Sorry. This is, I was thinking time. 4. And let's just say today's the 26th. Okay. So where is that now? Did it put it in there or did I hit the wrong button? Caption, date and time. Hit OK. I might have hit exit instead of OK. So let's go back to the album here. I wonder if it doesn't show it unless we're actually doing a slideshow. So I can hit the slideshow button on the front of the unit here. And what it should do is automatically play the sound that we recorded for this first slide. That should be arriving here any second. It actually didn't. Okay, so there's the second one, and I don't see the date appearing on there. That's really odd. Okay, so exit. We're learning as we go here, folks. Edit, type a caption. Let's do the caption. Go down here to my keyboard And let's do a little title here of hello. All right, and then I'm going to hit OK. Saving data. Okay, once again, we are not seeing it here on the screen. I don't know where it puts it. So maybe if I hit slideshow, go to the next one. Next slide, please. And it is completely ignoring me. The pause button appeared there. Oh, look at that. There's our capture. Hello. That's so nice. Okay, it's actually kind of cheesy. All right. So why doesn't it play the sounds automatically? So do I want to play voice? No voice recorded. Okay. Back. All right, let's just make a scrapbook. Move selected photos to a scrapbook. Yes. Moving photos to scrapbook. I have no idea what this is going to do. Should be really fun though. What is a scrapbook? It's thinking hard here. All right, and there apparently is our scrapbook. So scrap 1 of 1. I guess if you don't want to keep that photo in your album, you can scrap it, kind of like a deleted items folder. And yeah, that's very, very interesting. Okay, this button here, I think just says, yeah, slideshow. Now, here's where you can actually select music, but there is no music. Isn't that fun? Okay. And here we are in OBS Studio so that we can capture this video signal and send it directly to your device. So that's what it looks like when you first turn on the unit. Now, without inserting a disc, you have the opportunity to make some changes. And all you have to do is press enter on the remote. And then you have your slideshow settings, your general settings, clock settings, and close. Now, slideshow has some interesting options. So we can do music, we can play music, or we can play the voice captures that we recorded. And you cannot do both. It's like one or the other. Okay. So if I go to the next screen here, it shows me the interval. So how long do I want to play each picture? And 10 seconds is as low as you can go. And maybe that's because of the speed of this unit or something. But in any case, let's go ahead and exit out of that. And just to show you here what's general, we can turn our help on or off. And we can change the quality to auto, standard, or fine. And I have had it in there as fine. And then last on the list here, we have the clock. And yeah, it's 1997, 12/26. So it must have been the day after Christmas. Yeehaw. Even though the date on the top of this unit, as we discovered in the beginning, is March 1998. All right, so what I'm going to do is insert the disc that has our data on it. And of course, it wants me to insert the disc. So let's do that. And then I'm going to demonstrate the slideshow that I created with the audio voice captures on it. So that would be this DVD one here. All right, so I think I can press the slideshow button on the remote. No, that's not the button. So we are now playing the slideshow. And I just captured little portions of this DVD with...
So you've heard about DVD.
Have you seen DVD?
Well,
this
is DVD.
So the delay between each audio clip is pretty intense.
It looks just like a CD, but it holds much more information, and it's redefining home entertainment.
So I had to pause between each clip that I captured and then cue it back up.
The world is turning to DVD for a better way to watch movies and concert videos.
So anyway, you get the idea. So that's how that process works there. Now, ironically, to get this slideshow to start, I actually had to press the slideshow button on the front of the unit. So instead of hitting the slideshow button on my remote, I have to hit the slideshow button on the front of the Picture MD player. So Sony is not that great about making intuitive menus. At least they weren't at this time. So if I want to add music to the system or to the disc so that I can play it as part of my slideshow, I need to go up here and browse an album. All right. And then from the browse album menu, hit that. And then I can edit music. Edit music. Oh, edit, record slideshow music. Wow. Okay. Now, the thing you have to be very careful of is when you go in here, you don't hit exit, which I have done like 13 times already, because exit is the first thing that's highlighted. So you have to move your cursor up, highlight new track, press the enter key. Now it says enter music title. So let's go down here, and we're going to use YouTube royalty-free music. So we'll just call this YouTube. How about UTB? There we go. I love it. All right, so then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit OK. All right, now I can go to the record, and it should be allowing me to play audio at this point that we can hear. There it goes. Okay, notice so I haven't hit start yet. It's an annoying song anyway. Let's skip that one. Okay. So I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to go skip back. And then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to hit record start. And then I'm going to hit play. So the music is a little echoey because I'm listening to it at the same time that I am recording with a microphone. Okay, so we've recorded a little bit of sound there. Now, in order to use this with our slideshow, we're going to have to go into the settings again. So I'm going to exit the disk, eject the disk, I should say. I'm going to eject the disk, and then I'm going to hit enter on this screen, and I'm going to go to slideshow, and here I'm going to change it to, we'll do sequential, so start to finish. We've only got one track in there, but that's okay. All right, so now let's put the disc back in. So you see what I mean as far as this insane operation of this unit. It's very tedious and not real straightforward. All right, so there we are. We're opening up. Okay, so now I can go up here and I can hit slideshow, and it should play. Let's just hit start. Do we have to select music? I guess we'll find out. Looks like it might be loading that music to memory. There it goes. So of course, in this case, we're not going to get the little voice clips that we created. We're going to get the slides along with this music that we recorded. So that's kind of cool. So you can set up your own screensaver and play this on your TV. All right, so I'm going to exit via the remote. And this will conclude our video about the Sony DPA 300 digital still recorder. Brand new. We saw it come right out of the box, and it works perfectly for something that's over 25 years old. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, leave a comment below. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can do that with the links as well as Patreon link in the description if you'd like to contribute. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.